I call to order this meeting of the Senate Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness Committee. Nate, please take the roll.
Baker.
Here.
Brooks.
Here.
Dush. Here. Kane.
Here.
Langerholt.
Here.
Booth.
Here.
Pennycook.
Proxy.
Piscatano.
Proxy.
Williams.
Here.
Wood. Proxy.
And Mastriano.
Here. Yes. I call up Senate Bill 737, sponsored by Senators Baker and Kearney. This measure authorizes counties and municipalities to establish EMS authorities. In the last 5 years, the Ambulance Association estimates that 300 services have closed since 2019. This bill gives our counties and municipalities another option to provide EMS services for their residents. There's no mandate that a county form one, nor a mandate that a municipality must join in. This bill is supported by the Ambulance Association and many other. I'll pass over to Senator Baker for further comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it feels like deja vu. And I want to thank all of your consideration. There is an amendment to the bill as well, but Senator Carney is here. And we have been working for a number of years on this bill. It's been introduced and received past committee support. My co-prime is Senator Carney of Delaware County. And when you think about it, we've had 2 public hearings of this committee, dozens of meetings, forums, Zoom sessions, stakeholder conversation, and it's evolved in a way that it enjoys support from rural, suburban, and urban legislators. As I mentioned in a prior committee meeting, this is SR 6, the report with the recommendation from 2018. So here we are 7 years later looking at a recommendation that the SR 6 Commission put forward. This is not a mandate. I think that's very important to recognize. It's an option for communities seeking a different solution, and would be happy to answer any additional questions, and would certainly welcome the input of Senator Carney, who is here as well. But we do have an amendment that addresses concerns that had been expressed by the Township Supervisors Association, and I think it's a good bill. What I would say is this is not forcing anybody to do anything. It's just granting the authority for counties and municipalities to work together to solve what is a significant crisis across the Commonwealth.
Senator Carney, I'll say your name correctly this time, please. Over to you.
Thank you. We've been working on this many years, and I think the only thing I want to add to Senator Baker is that in Delaware County, we watched the sort of crisis unfold in real time when we had the closings of 4 out of our 6 hospitals, and the hospital, Crozier Chester, provided over 55% of the ambulance service for the entire county. And Delaware County is not, it's a small county geographically, but it's 760,000 people live there. So the crisis has been really, it's been very difficult to deal with in terms of trying to not only make sure that we have ambulances available and people to service them, but actually places for them to go. For example, the return time from when the ambulance used to go out, pick up the patient, transfer them to the hospital, and come back, that's gone from about an hour and a half to about 7 hours that we're seeing now. So just, we don't have as many ambulances, and they're stretched out really thin. And what this bill does really is just provide another tool for the municipalities and the counties to meet that need. So just with that in mind, I think it's, even though we were working on it long before the crisis got to where it was in Delaware County, just wanted to make that point. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Senator Baker offers amendment 01961, which is language that brings the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors on board. I move, Senator Baker seconds. Are there any negative votes on the amendment? I'll take a roll. Okay, we'll take the roll.
Baker.
Aye.
Brooks.
Aye.
Dush. Aye. Kane.
No.
Langerholt.
Aye.
Booth.
No.
Pennycook.
Proxy, aye.
Piscatano.
Proxy, no.
Williams.
No.
Ward.
Proxy, aye.
Master.
And the amendment is adopted. Senator Baker now moves that we report Senate Bill 737 as amended. Senator Dush seconds the motion. Are there any comments or questions?
I have a question, a clarifying question for either prime sponsor. So one of the concerns that has come up in the conversations with stakeholders regarding this legislation, which I do believe is well-intentioned in terms of solving the problems that we all know exist within specifically EMS, but as well as fire, but as this is broad and covers all public safety entities, but what is in the legislation that would prohibit the privatization of these services if they should be purchased? So for example, if it's a water authority that's municipally owned right now in Pennsylvania, those are acquired often by private water utility providers. So part of this legislation creates this newly formed public safety authority that sort of duplicates what's already an existing law. But what would prohibit a private provider company from purchasing the authority, and then just would be like a private company running emergency response? EMS, yes, is already well known to be owned by private equity, but is there anything in the language? I did not find anything, but I wanted to make sure that I understood how it was drafted legally.
So first I'll explain, this does not include police service or fire. You mentioned broadly that this covers everything.
It says public safety authority, I'm just citing your bill, so
I'm just citing for you that public safety projects, EMS and related services, and it excludes specifically public, police, and fire services. You may be recalling previously that Senator Carney and I had two bills that were combined. They were separated out, and the police and fire services are a separate bill. So this only pertains to EMS. The EMS, its municipalities would join by adopting an ordinance and contract with the authority. And so those municipalities joining and adopting this would have the ability to make decisions about the power to collect rates and fees, have all the audits, the financial rules, all the legal notices. So like municipal authorities, that would be who controls it, the board and the individuals from the municipalities who are part of it.
and thank you for the clarification. So a private entity couldn't be a part of authority like a hospital, or I'm just gonna give you an example, in my areas, like Tower Health has an ambulance company entity. It's separate from the hospital itself, but it's still from the tower
The way
system.
we've drafted it is to allow the municipalities and the counties to
So they could have,
create the authority. So it's the municipalities and the authority would be included with the municipalities and the county.
understood, but where my clarification is needed is if a private entity can be a part of that, meaning like a municipality that already works with Tower Health and contracts with them.
Yeah.
Only, the responsibility still lies with the municipality. The authority can't, the authority doesn't have the ability to hire people to provide the services. It's still grants services. That doesn't change.
So it could be a private provider that gives the
As
services
it
to
is-
the
as
municipality.
it
Yeah,
is
as it
now.
is now, that's my question.
Yes.
Okay, so that's helpful. And I think that's part of my confusion is if the municipality has that authority, why they're not considered municipal employees. And the risk of having it become a privatized service is very high, specifically in the EMS realm. And for that reason, I will be voting no today on this legislation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Senator Brooks has something. Please call the roll.
First one.
Approve bill as amended.
Okay. Senator Baker moves that we report Senate Bill 737 as amended. I second it. And let's go through the roll call.
Baker,
Aye.
Brooks,
Aye.
Dush,
Aye.
Kane,
No.
Langerholt,
Aye.
Booth,
No.
Pennycook,
Proxy, aye.
Piscatano,
Proxy, no.
Williams,
No.
Ward,
Proxy, aye.
and Mastriani.
And aye. Senate Bill 737 is reported as amended. Okay, I call up Senate Bill 1078. This legislation extends the current 911 fee, $1.95 a month until February 1st, 2029. If we do not act, the fee will revert back to $1.65. There's a lot more work to be done on the 911, but at this time, I ask you to move this bill out of committee to get this pressing issue done before February 1st of next year. Senator Muth is offering amendment 01997. Is there a second? Senator Williams, thank you. I move that we table the amendment. Is there a second? Senator Dutch, thank you. The motion is the table is not debatable. As such, we will proceed with the roll call. May please call the roll.
Baker,
Mr. Chairman, are you going to read my amendment?
Or proceed with the vote.
Baker,
To table,
Brooks,
aye.
Dush, Kane,
What's this, on the amendment or the bill?
Amendment.
Table and amendment, no.
Langerhold, Booth,
No.
Pennycook,
Proxy, aye.
Piscatano, Piscatano,
Proxy, no.
Williams,
No.
Ward,
Proxy, aye.
and Mastriani.
And aye. I move that we report Senate Bill 1078 as committed. Senator Dutch seconds. Question or comments?
I have a
Sure.
comment, Mr. Chair. Thank you. My amendment that I was trying to add would have made this bill much more effective instead of locking in a number to 2029 at $1.95. Would have changed the rate to 220 and had an inflationary adjuster. As you know, I appreciate the effort to get this done in a timely manner, but again, keeping it at the flat rate that it currently is not sufficient enough to fully fund the whole 911 system. Every single county would be required to pick up the slack here if you know, this surcharge stays flat. And so again, pushing this down to local governments to try to fund a system that every single one of our constituents and every Pennsylvanian relies on and deserves to have that timely access to emergency care. You know, this just fixing the rate would have been the way to ensure financially stable system. And the way that this is funded for the public's awareness is not by the general fund, but rather by ratepayers and their phone bill. So by not allowing the extra few cents every year to be added in, you're not even giving ratepayers the option to actually have a funded 911 system, because we're just not allowing an increase. So 2029 is a few years away, and I imagine that inflation will continue to rise, and we will be stuck with an underfunded 911 system, which is a disgrace, because we could change that and make it fully funded. So I'll vote yes on the legislation as a life-saving effort to save this program before it sunsets, but there shouldn't have been a debate as to making it adequately funded.
Anyone else? Senator Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, I completely support our 911 services and think they're so critical to every resident in this Commonwealth. I think this conversation has gone back and forth between chambers, and I think you've spent a considerable amount of time trying to find that funding number, and there are a lot of folks that are opposed, and so we need to get this done so that it doesn't revert back to where it was before, and I think that's why we're moving the legislation today. I will be candid, I'm disappointed as a former county commissioner that CCAP doesn't recognize that we, did make this increase, and that there's many, many members that did not support, moving it even higher. And I think their concern was the rate of inflation right now and, how families are struggling. But we need to get this done, and, we have another chamber and a governor that we need to negotiate with, and so for that reason, I will be a yes on this legislation.
Anyone else? Any negative votes?
Huh?
Senate, okay. Senate Bill.
One second.
Stand by.
Yeah, you should.
I'm on aye.
No negative. Thank you. Thanks for the clarity, sir. Senate Bill 1078 is reported as committed. Thank you, everyone, and now recess the Veterans Affairs and First Preparedness Committee to call the chair.